All right, so since the skid steer was down, I fixed it this morning, or well, just a few minutes ago. So ended up being the primer pump, so which is that, and the 450 is leaking fuel at the only reason why I know, because I noticed it started looking like wet right here, and then I could smell it, and that is fuel. So I'm thinking the injector line is leaking, and it also had a code for cylinder 5 balance and contribution. So but I also got the machine home. So I've got a job tomorrow that I've got to do. So we're gonna go ahead and because I got the 250 loaded up, and I got it reprogrammed because it had a hot tune, and I put the H&S Mini Max back on it and retuned it, and then I was having suet load or something about particulate matter sensor or something like that, and I just re-downloaded the tune from Mini Max online and updated the firmware. So these old knives like these off that last job that I done, so these are my backup for, like, right now everything's slow, so that way I can get those cleaned up and put back on there. So got these new ones. Since the other job that I done in Tennessee, where it had all those rocks under the leaves, curled them back, so that way I can use these for a backup. So I got to get me a different bucket and then use those other ones for scrap metal or something. So I'm going to go ahead and get the tools that I need to break these loose, and we'll go from there. I forgot to show you that the tank came in for the ditch witch. Pretty sure I told them to make sure that they ordered everything that needed for tanks and stuff like that. So I asked them, first off, I said, is the tank have fittings that's replaceable, or are they all like molded in there, or like a one piece, so that all these little fitting holes. This is the main one. I guess it's either the return or the supply. One of these are. And I'm pretty sure this one was leaking, because right in here the plate bolted in, and it is this one. So it's the elbow that comes from the it's either the supply or the return, this one, and there's a fitting that 45s or 90 degree comes out right here, and it was leaking from the plate, like right here. It was leaking from the front to the back. So now I've got to take the fittings off and find the right O-ring or something like that, or maybe a washer or whatever it needs. And here's the hydraulic filter, so I'm gonna change it too, since I've already got everything off, because it's hard to get to. So I already got it, so I'm gonna get a video on it too once I get done with the job tomorrow. So we'll get that, and then I've got the impacts to do the which this is, I've not hit anything yet. Nothing. Hopefully this don't let me down. It's got 3-bar on it. So I'm guessing the other one was loose last time. Let's see it. Let's see. We may. So the hammer trick does work, which is awesome. So that way, instead of taking an hour and a half to 2 hours, it literally does sometimes an hour to 2 hours. Then I can get my 3/4 breaker bar and break them loose. But since I know the hammer trick, like I showed you last time, and the 3/4 Harbor Freight smacks. So awesome. Well worth the buying. So, oh yeah. All right, so before it gets too dark, I got the old ones off, and then I'm starting with the new ones. Can't really see them, but well, as you can see, I'm still out here in the dark. So what I did was I ran them up to where they're still loose, and I'm just going through and checking every one of them. And so you can see I left a gap in some of them. You can grab it, so if they're tight, then they won't move. So that way I know which ones I hit. Just got it loaded. Got it chained down, ready to get the windshield clean. I was driving the 250 to Gadsden, Alabama to do a job, which was about an hour and a half. Well, went to drive it, and since I retuned it, listen, that's all you got. And that's to the floor. And I'll let off of again. It won't do it again. Sometimes it will when you're level. That's all you got. Let's see if it'll show it. That's all you got. 4 to 5 seconds of acceleration. With a check engine light. That's all you got. 4 to 5 seconds of acceleration. It had a hot tune on it, so I retuned it day before yesterday, and it won't even pull a hill. So I had to. It took me 15 minutes to go up maybe a 4 or 5 minute hill, and it has no power whatsoever. And it stays in first, second, third gear. It won't even get past third. I've got it to 4 because I was going down the hill, and that was about it. But I just done that because there's a reason why there's a 2019 6.7 Power Stroke sitting under the carport, because the guy before me had it hot tuned and he was pulling some pretty heavy stuff for this little 250. Man, look at these trucks. Worked hard to keep these suckers. So the video of the 250 having problems. So that being said, it's a program. I didn't have any problems before the hot tune, or when I had the hot tune, no codes, no nothing. But once I programmed with the H&S Mini Max 2, it wouldn't pull this trailer at all worth a flip. So it's a programming, which I looked on their program issues, or their known issues. They're actually working through it. I've emailed them, so very pissed on how they talked to me before, because I got it for this truck, the 450, but it didn't state that if the F450 550s, it just states F250, F350. It would be nice for to show that, you know, it's not for anything past F350. It's something that they can put on there. But obviously they talk to you like you're an idiot. But it's programming. I'll probably try to turn them in or something like that, or giving them an option to try to make it right. But I got the new knives on there, so they should shred. So that being said, I told the customer I'd be there Friday. So got to figure out. There's a lot of problems with my trucks just because I bought stuff used. I just love this thing. So one thing I do need to do is cylinders for this thing, because it's awesome. It's very dirty too, so I do need to clean it off, check all the fluids, everything's good. But it's leaking from somewhere over here, so I'm probably gonna try and let it run, and hopefully it's an injector. I can tell you right now, it looks like an injector fuel line. I will get what I need and my flashlight, so that way I can show you what's going on. But so today we're going to try to see what we can do with this one. I do have some parts from the other engine. I know you're not supposed to do that, but if Ford don't have one in stock, then I will just take it off this one. If I'm not mistaken, it might be just loose. So this is the one from the 250. So cylinder 5 will be this one. Maybe it might be the sensor. It's leaking, but it looks like it's leaking but right in here. So that's cylinder 5. So hopefully I can just tighten stuff up. So, and we'll be working on the hydraulic tank, and I'll probably go get some fluid today and get this thing running. I haven't started it in a while. It's got 2,000 hours, 2,036. I do like this thing. We've used it on a couple jobs. If you watch the videos, then you'll see this thing is pretty beefy. So it's getting tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I've got a lot of cleaning to do because we got family coming up. I've got to get my trucks going, but they look mean. What's up, Hank? Chilling. Very happy how they look. I just love the Fords. Not branded, but I can fix just about anything, so. Boy, that thing is pissing on top of that filter. That's what's leaking. So I noticed that you could see it was wet on top, but I was thinking it was these connectors. So I was told that these right here bust, and I'm 100% sure that it's cracked in between one of these little fins. So I'm actually going to buy some engine degreaser, spray it, and then wash it off, which is never a good idea, but if not, I'll be smelling burnt, warm diesel smell. So yeah, but yeah, well, that was an easy fix. I just was going to put my problem on to another day. That's about the best thing. I literally 5 minutes in. All right, chill out. Easy fix. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can order shocks, hood shocks too. Go ahead and get me a filter in. Probably keep 2 of them. I'm not sure the 2014s had the ones under the rail, the frame rail. So if it does, this being a cabin chassis one, I'm not really sure. It's been dumping fuel. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera or not, but it's dumped fuel all over the place. Somebody done some pretty crappy wiring for the lights and stuff. And then my air horns back there. But you can see how wet it looks. Then on the frame rail. So, do need to take it to the car wash and degrease it, spray some stuff on it to make it look clean. It's even dripping diesel fuel off the oil pan. But now, since I got that, I'm gonna go ahead and order the parts, because every time I've ever had to, I always had to order the kit. So not really for sure if there's 2 of them on it or not, like the 2014s, which they always, every time I change the fuel filter on the frame rail on the 2014 that I had. I'm not even sure if I have any footage on the 2014 I had. But every time you turn the thing, you always cut the O-ring, and it never failed. And I was always easy. But awesome. Glad to figure that out. Once I get some filters and stuff like that, which I was told that was pretty common for those to bust out of the top. Now, I thought it was the fitting that clipped on, but that's good to know. It's good to know. Heck, if I'd known that, I'd done got that job finished or started today. So now we're gonna work on the ditch witch, and I'll have to go get some fluid too. I'll have to figure out what kind of weight I need. But oh yeah. All right, so since I had to order the kit for that right there for the fuel filter, I went ahead and ordered a oil filter. I got looking at it, and then I was like, you know what, I need to do a crankcase filter. So I went to jump up. There's a socket still sitting there with my swivel, and I drove several times with this on jobs since I've done that. Well, shows you how much I was paying attention. So now we're going to go ahead and get started on the ditch witch until my part's supposed to be here at 12 o'clock, and it's almost 10. So a couple hours, then we should be good to go. So I got most of the fittings out of the old one, but I'm having a problem out of one of them, and it was the last one. Well, I've got one down here that shouldn't be a problem. It's this one. It's brass, and there's a thing at the bottom. I'll show you on the new one, which is that one. So it's like this, but it's not supposed to turn, and I'm 100% sure that's the reason why this one is leaking. It's just like this one, but this one is, I'm pretty sure, because this is where it's leaking, is it's all that grime and dirt, and it leaked down, and I thought it was this one. But the O-ring in here, but there's also O-ring on there, but I can't get it to, I may have to put some heat to it to break it loose. And then when I took it off, I took this one out, and I can't find where I put it. So I may have to go to a hydraulic place and get me a plug to plug it off. And then in the meantime, I pulled out all my tools, because I'm going to get both these trucks cleaned by Friday. So today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and my plan was to do a mulch job, have that video for this one, but I also found the shock nut for the passenger side, so that way I can get it replaced. So I found it and I lost it, so I thought they gave me the wrong one. So, but I believe that I put a fitting in here, and I said I'll put it here, and if I need it, I'll remember where it's at. But obviously I can't remember what I done with it. So I'm gonna clean out all my tools, and I got all my Matco and stuff like that spread out. Some in here, my snap-on stuff is over here and over there. So I'm gonna put that in my pocket before I forget it. But so you got some that, no, I thought they fell off. So these are my Matco pieces. Hopefully I have the right ones. It looks like might be a 10. I was wrong. Nice. I'll have to dig up my other ones for that one right there. I could probably get away with a 3/8, throwing it in there. But yeah, I got that one, and then there's a sight glass. I got it out, which thankfully I was looking at it. It was right there. That's not good. So I'm gonna get this one, this, and then I'm gonna get the parts to fix the 450, and I'm gonna get this cleaned out, and then I'm gonna go grab my parts and then get everything finished. So I had to go to O'Reilly's at the fuel filter case. So I got the Motorcraft, and then they had the Dorman crankcase, which the crankcase on this 450 is just juicy, so I've got to get it fixed. Got some brake clean, wasn't cheap, that was like $30, but I had to have it to clean stuff. And I got a pile of sockets that was in my bags. So got to get it cleaned up, trying to get everything going. And I want to show you the 250, what we had to do to the tank. Dang it. Man, I thought I had everything drained out, but heck, it's been sliding all over the place. I guess I'll have to clean that up, but we had to cut it to get the insert out. I guess that's what I get for doing that. But I got the O-rings, got all the stuff I needed from one of my buddies that works on stuff like that. So got us some plugs, got everything out, so that way I can put everything in, and then I'll have to get fluid. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything before it gets dark. And I have a person calling me for a machine that I'm possibly getting very soon. So hopefully he's supposed to be getting with me and talking to me about a few things. So until then, I am going to get this one fixed, get the plugs for what I need. I have to get the thread sealant and make sure everything's got O-rings. Then we'll get the new tank. So then we'll throw it on the ditch witch. All right, so got everything put back in except for the top piece, which I can do that. This is what I had to get done. Then my buddy had one of these, and I'll guarantee you I'll find the one that went in here. I'm pretty sure it was like this, but I could be wrong. But here is the crankcase, and then here is the fuel. So I'm gonna have to put this fuel one in. That way I ain't gotta worry about it. Before it gets too late, I got the new one, and then the old one when it was coming out was pretty rough. I noticed I've been having a lot of oil leaks. It shouldn't be that brittle coming out. So when I took the cap off, it blew it. No, I wouldn't say it blew it off, but it had some pretty good pressure on it. So it's not too bad to take off. You just got to move that fuel line so that way you can get to the bolt. And 5/16 shallow and a deep well, and it should come right out. All right, so got a bunch of stuff done to it. Got the new shock on the passenger side. Fixed the crankcase last night, and then got the fuel filter on there. No leaks so far. Let it run for about 15-20 minutes, no leaks. I figured I'd go ahead and rotate the tires, so that way I can take this one off too at the same time. So it's a 2-in-1. So I'm gonna get that, and then I'll get the trailer loaded up, and then I'm gonna get my tools organized in the back, get all the trash out, because when you work a lot, it gets piled up pretty quickly. There's a lot of stuff in here that's just needs to be thrown out. But that's what needs to be done. And my crankcase isn't too too bad now. All right, so got all the problems fixed. No fuel leaks, no problems. Got the shocks put on, so I should be ready for tomorrow to do a mulching job. Got the new teeth on, got all my tools organized-ish, and then everything's aired up, no leaks. Got all the stuff I need for a possible long trip. So happy Thanksgiving, y'all.